Welcome to another AriasWave update. So this will be a super quick update. I'm sure you've been following my XLMUSD videos, and I just want to talk about this particular correction that we're seeing now. Okay, so I was having a look at this one earlier, and something really sprung out at me on this pattern because I know that it's bullish, but this is why AriasWave gives you a certain level of perspective that you won't get anywhere else. Okay. Now, I'm not going to explain it fully, but I'm just going to explain this to you, right? Now, when you look at this pattern, what do you see here? Okay. Now, normally you get gaps in wave 3. Okay. That's a bullish wave 3 gap, right? But how is that a wave 3 gap when this doesn't really look like a 5-wave move? You could argue that, okay, maybe this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 type thing. But I had a closer look actually last night after I posted the previous update, and I had a look at the internals of these waves here, and I saw something that didn't fit the AriasWave set of corrective patterns, right? And I thought, well, hang on a minute, that can't be possible. So this is how accurate AriasWave is. When you see something like this move here, that's a zigzag. That's, well, it looks like a zigzag, but is it really a zigzag? Okay. So that's impossible because zigzag cannot be right there. Okay. So this is just giving you a little insight into how you can use AriasWave to determine what you're looking at. Okay. So this goes back to one of the things that I used to speak about, or I've mentioned a few times, where when you have a really bullish move ahead of you, it looks like a wave. Okay. So going back a step, why are wave 3s so sharp? Okay. And the answer is because the correction expands to the upside. Okay. So that's why, like, you get a lot of people who try and do the whole breakout trade, right? Okay, let's just remove these things for a sec. Okay, they try to do the whole, okay, let's look for a consolidation. For example, let's look for like a consolidation pattern somewhere. And when we break above that, we're going straight up. Okay. So you can try and do that on many charts. So where do you draw the line here? The top was there. Maybe what happens if you would have seen the consolidation around here? So where do you draw the line? Okay. Now, the thing that I found the most interesting was that I had said to you that this was going to go up. And that's because I know that the pattern is supposed to be a 5-wave move. But this correction, after I posted that video, it didn't make any sense. I'm like, what are you looking at here? Right? After I realized what was happening, I knew this would be the bottom here, right? As you can see, sorry, let me just do that again. I knew the bottom would be here. We never made a new low. This is going to go straight up from here, okay? Now, let me just say one thing to you. This is not a 5-wave move, okay? There is something else going on in there that explains exactly why this is not a 5-wave move. In fact, I will draw out where wave 1 ends and where wave 2 ends. Okay, just so you have an idea of how complex things can get when you don't know AriasWave, so therefore you wouldn't know what to expect. Now, this is very easy for this thing to just completely make me wrong, but I don't believe that will happen because I'm pretty aware of the waves and how they work, and there are certain guidelines that you have to meet in order for something to be not right. So this is down here, we have a wave 1 down here, wave 2 ended here. Okay, everything else above that green line was just an expanded wave 2 correction. So strong is this trend that the correction looked impulsive. So you can just imagine what is coming next. This thing's going to skyrocket in a short amount of time. Okay, so that's basically what I wanted to say. It basically, once you learn the waves, I suppose you realize that not everything is what it appears to be, even though if you like, you can count 5. No, everybody can count to 5. But then you see these sort of patterns and you think, okay, so maybe that was just a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and we have an extended wave 5. Now that sounds to me a lot like Elliott wave talk. Extended wave 5s, where basically you're looking at a pattern which is not even impulsive. However, the correction, like for example, just say we're looking at a wave B right now. So now I'm starting to give something away here. Okay. Now, just because I feel like being generous, I'm going to share this with you. What happened after the first wave 1? You saw a 3-wave move right there. And then you saw this great big move up. So automatically you have to think, okay, well, what comes next? A B wave. So that's a B wave up there. So what that gap was simply the third wave of the A wave of the B wave, right? And then you got this move straight down C. This whole move was a D. That whole move was an E. Can you see that? So therefore, this is support now. Okay, see how this can be used for margin trading? But you got to know the rest of the pattern. You've got to understand what it is, where we're going, where it ends, using the waves and a whole bunch of other things which are all related to AriasWave. Basically, it's just like it becomes like a program. You install the program in your mind, and all you do is execute that program, and it's like code in your head, right? It asks you a bunch of questions. Are you seeing this? Have you seen that? What is this? Does this fit here? Does it fit there? Right? It's like a jigsaw puzzle. If that piece doesn't go there, then it can't be what you think it is. It must be something else. So you need to go back. So that's why I'm showing you this, because I believe this is actually getting ready to shoot straight up. Okay. Now I know Bitcoin is still moving up and that, but that doesn't concern me because in my previous video I explained that it's in an E wave. So E waves can have different variances. Unless we break the absolute highs of Bitcoin, then maybe I'll consider updating the view. But when it comes to this particular pair, XLMUSD, I can see huge amount of strength building up here. It just broke the highs and retested it now. So it basically all comes back to the same thing. All right, you go back once again, you look at what are you seeing here? I'm not going to go through this. All right. I just want you to know that if you see something move sharp up, you better know what it is, and you better know what it's a part of. Because if you don't know what it's a part of, that doesn't guarantee you any kind of success. That basically only tells you that you figured one tiny part of the puzzle out, but yeah, you've got the whole other piece of the puzzle missing. But what I just told you now is actually simply put an indication of big strength that lies ahead. So to me, this is proof already that this move is about to launch up. And that actually makes me feel better, because that means that this is not a 5-wave move, is even better than if it was a 5-wave move. Because if it was a 5-wave move, it would have had to come back down further than what it did, but it didn't. Right? You saw a 5-wave move, that's an E wave right there. So now it's preparing to launch. Okay, you can quote me if I'm wrong in my next video, if you think I'm wrong, whatever. But if this goes below the red line, this view is invalidated. So let's test my knowledge. Let's test AriasWave. Let's put it to the test on a 15-minute chart. Let's see what happens after this. Will it go below 0.4040 cents? Let's see. I reckon this is support right now for the coming move up until we get complete 5 waves up for the first part of the D wave that I've been talking about. Okay, so can you even see that on this chart? It's here somewhere, I'm sure. We may have to go to the 4-hour, depending on how big. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so obviously we're looking for 3 waves up, and this is basically going to do something like 3, 4, 5, and then you'll get your, you know, your B wave, and then you'll get your D wave. Okay, can you see that? So that's the kind of feeling I'm getting, except this time I've explained it a little bit more in the bottom part of what's happening here. Okay, I've explained it in a way that it's kind of like it makes sense of the waves, because that's exactly what AriasWave does. It makes sense of every single wave, and believe me, no waves are the same. Every wave is so unique, it's impossible to find the same wave with the same length of each wave and each correction. It's impossible. The only similarity you can find is potentially the length in certain waves, especially as A brackets, C brackets. But everything in between is the most important part. So this is what we're dealing with now. We're dealing with the in-between of a B wave, which hasn't even finished yet, right? So if we zoom out a bit, we have the D and E coming, okay, to complete the B. So we can't really talk about target yet until we've seen confirmation of this, but we'll get to that. First, what I'm trying to say is this: I reckon that this move that's coming now is going to break all-time high. Okay, from this point, from that red line, it will not go below that red line. Okay, and it'll go straight up and smash through that all-time high. Even if it comes back down after that, that's fine. But I'm still telling you that it's going to break that all-time high in this particular wave. After that, we're going to see whatever's coming next, whatever. We'll get to that. Obviously, I post daily on XLM because it's at the moment it's my coin of choice based on the clarity of the patterns and also the performance. Not only the performance that it's expected in the long run, but also I can see it performing in the way that I believe is in line with my view. So I'm giving it all to you here. So if I'm wrong, then we need to see a break below 40 cents to prove that what I just said, the whole last 15 minutes of what I said was complete BS and it was wrong. Okay? So now the challenge is on. Keep your eyes glued to this chart and let me know, does it go below 40 cents? If it does, I'd be surprised. But that's my mini update for today. Hopefully you found this video interesting and informative. Thank you for watching.